Here's what's happened so far on the weekend. The Bulldogs have defeated LSU twice, 5-3 on Friday, 5-2 yesterday, and 2 out hitting, a big reason why State's been successful.
Yeah, especially in games when not a lot of runs are being scored. You've got to come through with 2 out hits. Mississippi State doing a much better job than LSU, but LSU has not had a problem getting runners on base. You can see the leadoff reached 9 times in 2 games, but the left on base, 17, has really hurt the Tigers.
Bulldog pitching has struck out 22 LSU hitters, half of those strikeouts coming from this young lady right here, number 4, Alyssa Faircloth, the junior from Northport, Alabama, already has 1 win against LSU on the weekend, looking to make it 2 today.
Yeah, Sunday's kind of all hands on deck. Going back to Alyssa Faircloth, who had great success against the Tigers. It was that changeup. Once again, that was a difference maker. Of her 11 strikeouts, 9 of them came from the changeup. She's going to throw in the mid-60s, and she also has that curve and rise that she uses to offset the changeup. But you know these Tigers are ready to see that off speed.
We'll see what kind of adjustments they've made from game 1 to game 3. This LSU offense this season, and especially this weekend, has been anchored by Kylie Edwards. She's earned her way on base 6 times already this weekend.
If it's a hit by pitch, a walk, she's finding her way on. She's just waiting for her teammates to come through to get her across the plate.
It'll be Jayla Lassiter, the veteran senior outfielder, who will lead things off for LSU. She has been an incredibly effective leadoff hitter for the Tigers this season. And the first couple of pitches missed the strike zone. 2-0 the count as Faircloth faces Lassiter. 50 hits on the year for Lassiter. The only LSU player on the roster this year to reach the 50-hit mark. The Bulldogs have a couple who have surpassed the 50-hit total here in 2026. 2 for 7 on the weekend is Lassiter against Mississippi State pitching. That's in there for a strike, and the count evens up 2-2. Ron Alexander, the veteran behind the plate today as our umpire. Hop up, foul territory, will drift out of play behind home plate. And we'll do it again. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes on Lassiter, with Daniel and Edwards set to also make a plate appearance for LSU here in the top of the first. A sunny and warm Sunday in Starkville. Swing and a miss, and immediately Faircloth picks up right where she left off on Friday.
And there's the Alyssa Faircloth changeup. This at-bat saw a good mix of her different pitches. A couple backdoor curves, a changeup, a rise ball, and then when she needs to strike out, she's going back to that changeup.
So Lassiter, one of LSU's better hitters, will head back to the dugout. Sierra Daniel picks up a bat. The first lefty in the lineup today for head coach Beth Torina and the LSU Tigers. Daniel had a big home run yesterday to get the scoring started, but LSU could never get the big inning and ended up dropping a 5-2 decision to Mississippi State yesterday afternoon.
You saw Sierra Daniels show bunt there. You know, we saw all the runners left on base, the lack of 2-out hitting. I wonder if they're going to try and implement a little bit more small ball today. Put pressure on the defense, get the ball in play, find a way to get things rolling on the bases. That pitch just misses.
A 3-0 count to Daniel, the junior out of Chandler, Arizona. A lefty hitter. Her home run yesterday, the only hit she has so far on the weekend. And a 4-pitch walk issued by Faircloth, and Daniel, a good runner, is on at first with 1 out.
Shortstop Kylie Edwards.
That is just the 48th walk issued by Faircloth on the year. Compare that to her 207 strikeouts on the season.
It's a pretty good ratio.
I'm no math expert, but yes, the ratio there is very impressive. That catches the outside corner as Kylie Edwards steps up for the first time today. We mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, has been an on-base machine for LSU through the first 2 games here in Starkville. Blocked up by Rivera on a pitch in the dirt. Count evens up 1-1.
I'll tell you what, Rivera's been great behind the plate. I know the pitching's getting a lot of notoriety, as they should, but Rivera behind the plate has been blocking them up, throwing out runners. I mean, she's been steadfast back there for her pitchers.
This weekend and really all season. Hard hit ball, but foul and out of play left side as Edwards got out in front of it, and the count's 1-2.
And that's the pitch that Faircloth was trying to establish against Edwards on game 1, where she ended up hitting her twice, trying to get established the inside part of the plate. It's a good location there. It has come back into a pitcher's count.
And there you see her numbers on the season and this weekend. Edwards pops it up and out of play. So we'll do it again. Count remains 1-2.
Everybody clap your hands.
In SEC action, Edwards has been the most consistent hitter for LSU. And so far this weekend, a couple of hits, couple of walks, couple of hit by pitches. And that one is hit hard and hit deep, and it is gone. LSU, for the 3rd time in as many games on the weekend, scores first. This time a 2-run home run from the Mississippi State transfer, Kylie Edwards.
Edwards finds herself in a 1-2 count, a pitcher's count, right? But then she just gets a pitch elevated in the zone. Faircloth goes with the rise ball. Kylie Edwards, nice and tall in the box, doesn't come down or lose her posture, is able to stay through the ball. And once again, LSU strikes first.
That is the 10th homer of the year for Edwards. So she joins her teammate, Tori Edwards. Both the Edwards, no relation, have double-digit homers now in the year for LSU, and the Tigers are on top by 2. This is the first multiple run lead for LSU this weekend.
Yeah, they're scoring early in the game, just a single run, solo shot. You know, you don't care too much about solo shots because you got to score anyway to win, right? But a 2-run home run, that's a little bit different when a cricket number goes up there early.
Just feels different.
It does.
A little more energy in the dugout when you're able to do that early and get that multiple run lead as Franklin steps up for the first time today. And this is a trend for LSU all season. It doesn't always lead to wins, but most of the time this year it's led to wins, them scoring early and often in the first couple of innings.
I think both teams have shown that they can score early, but it's the often part that's been the problem. They'll get a big inning in the first and then kind of go silent the rest of the game. I know Coach Torina would love to see her team continue getting runners on after the home run now.
There's Beth Torina, 15th season in Baton Rouge. Has gone to the World Series in Oklahoma City 4 times over that span, including 3 years in a row from 2015 to 2017. Off speed, stayed high, broke late. 2-2 the count on Franklin. The pitching staff for Mississippi State doing a good job this weekend so far. We'll see how game 3 plays out of when LSU scores early. They then don't allow LSU to score for the next 2 or 3 innings, not allowing them to build upon that as Franklin strikes out. And that would be strikeout number 2 of the inning for Faircloth.
Second first baseman Tori
And
Edwards.
to your point, I think it's really good to see the response in the circle by Faircloth each time. She's given up a run, or this time a 2-run shot, that she comes right back and gets the next hitter. Doesn't let that momentum continue to build in that Tiger dugout.
A couple of strikeouts, 1 walk. That walk did come back to hurt her because that walk scored when Edwards hit the home run. Kylie Edwards, that is, as Tori Edwards steps up for the first time today. The right-handed power hitter who falls into the hole, nothing in 2 quickly against Faircloth. Sophomore out of Flower Mound, Texas. That's downstairs. Not a bad idea if you're Faircloth. It's hard to say hitting 283 with 11 homers is a slump, but a bit of a sophomore slump after a fantastic freshman season for Tori Edmonds. Off the end of the bat, over to short, thrown across just in time by Morgan Stiles. And that'll end the inning. But Kylie Edwards, the former Mississippi State shortstop, gets LSU on the board first. Her 10th homer of the season. It's Tigers 2, Bulldogs nothing. Third different starting pitcher on the weekend for LSU as the right-hander, the senior Tatum Clopton, will get the start for Beth Torina and the LSU Tigers, a senior from Lawrence, Kansas. Brittany, what can you tell us about the right-hander Clopton?
Yeah, this is a pitcher that's not going to be overwhelming in velocity like we saw with Hebner and Monticelli. She's going to be in the mid to low 60s, but she's going to induce a lot of weak fly balls. You see that first pitch right there, a rise ball that she can throw in the zone for the strike, but it's has that up movement on it, so Mississippi State's going to have to work on top, and she's also added a drop ball to kind of give a different look, but her go-to is up in the zone.
Morgan Stiles is the leadoff hitter for Mississippi State, as she has been most of the season and all weekend. There you see hitting cleanup today, Paige Ernstis, who has driven in 6 of State's 10 runs on the weekend, has hit a 3-run home run in each of the first 2 games of the series.
Yeah, she's having a heck of a weekend, but it looks like umpire Kaylee Young is coming over to talk with Clopton. I'm sure a legal pitch was called, so the count's going to go 2-1. She's just explaining here what she called. You see Beth Trina getting some explanation as well. We'll take a look and see if we can decipher what was called. You know, you're allowed to disengage with the ground now, a little bit of leaf, as long as you're not replanting, so that looked fine. Maybe just that slight step forward when she starts her motion with that right foot, her pivot foot.
It was a short conversation. That's a ball lifted into right. That'll roll all the way to the wall. This will be extra bases for Morgan Stiles. Leadoff double for Mississippi State in the home half of the first.
Stiles just gets a pitch on the outer half that's down in the zone. It's just the type of hitter she is, that she doesn't try to do too much with it. Takes it right down the right field line. It gets past Franklin Stiles. We've seen it before. Leads off the game with a double.
And now the senior Nadia Barbary playing in her final regular season game in Starkville. Steps up, hits the first pitch. It's deep. It is off the wall. It is gone, and we are tied just like that. The Bulldogs do it again. They answer a 2-run blast by LSU with one of their own.
I mean, it's kind of crazy, right? The way that Mississippi State has been able to immediately respond to anything the Tigers put on the scoreboard in the first inning for the 3rd straight game. But for the first time, it's not Paige Ernstis. It is the senior Nadia Barbary. First pitch she sees from Clopton. I think this one just got a ton of plate, and Nadia took advantage of it. Great effort, though, in center field by Lassiter. We've got a new ball game.
Barbary, her 12th homer of the year. And we are tied. We had fireworks in the first inning yesterday with both teams hitting home runs. In fact, we had 3 home runs total in the first inning yesterday. And now a couple of home runs, one from each team in the first inning of Game 3 today. Rise ball taken high by Kiara Sells, who leads the state team with 13 home runs this year. The senior from Jasper, Alabama, one of 7 seniors on state's roster. Batting over .370 on the year. Takes one outside, ball 2.
And she's a player.
Ball 3 rather, sorry.
No problem. She's a player that I have my eye on today. Just didn't look right in the box yesterday. Their biggest power hitter. I mean, her teammates have really stepped up behind her, but lost her 18 base on base streak yesterday. But here is starting a new streak, finding her way back on base.
A quality at bat as she draws a 4-pitch walk. And speaking of not looking right, ever since the illegal pitch was called, Clopton has looked uncomfortable.
That's a great point. It's something that can mess with a pitcher, too. You start focusing on your mechanics, what you're doing with your feet, then you kind of lose your timing, and everything kind of gets haywire, and doesn't look like Beth Trina is going to let this happen much longer.
No, Clopton. Now, of course, you can always re-enter, but it is a very short leash. And they're going to bring out who's been, I think, their best pitcher over the past couple of weekends, Monticelli.
Yeah, she has, and she's been coming into this relief role, and this time she has all 21 outs left to get, but she has been in this situation. She's a SEC Pitcher of the Week after coming in relief last week in 3 games against Ole Miss and recording 3 wins in that relief role. So this is where she thrives.
Time for a pitching change timeout. We'll come back and talk more about the new LSU pitcher after this.
Taking a look at that home run. This replay is brought to you by...
Pitching change, not wasting any time to go to the senior out of the bullpen, Peyton Monticelli, the reigning SEC Pitcher of the Week. She inherits a tied ball game. Runner on at first is Sells, and there's still no one out. What can you tell us about Peyton Monticelli and what makes her so effective in relief?
She throws the ball hard. She's going to be a very different look than Clopton came with. She's going to be upper 60s. She can hit 71, 72 up in the zone, but also has a changeup to offset that speed. So Mississippi State's got to pick a speed, but also discipline down in the zone.
Monticelli was good in relief, albeit in a losing effort on Friday against State hitters. We'll see if State has made any adjustments as they see here for the second time on the weekend. 1-2 the count on Paige Ernstess, who has been the Tiger killer so far on the weekend. A couple of 3-run home runs, calls time. Nice day for softball here in Starkville. Got some cloud cover right now, but a very slight breeze as Ernstess pulls one foul, third base side.
And I think this quick pitching change shows you how important this game is for both sides. And Beth Trina not wasting any time, not allowing Mississippi State to try and put a big rally together, because this game is so important for both sides.
Ground ball. They'll flip to second for 1. Relay won't be in time. Lead runner, though, is retired as Monticelli induces the ground ball out off the bat of Ernstess, and Sells is forced out at second base. Ernstess reaches on the fielder's choice, 1 out. And a big out to get for LSU. You bring in Monticelli, quick pitching change, and she retires the first batter she sees.
Yeah, especially that quickly. Monticelli probably wasn't expecting to go in without her team recording an out. So having her ready and warmed and being ready to come in that early is huge, and to throw strikes in that short notice is a big deal.
The left-hander, Anna Carter, steps in now for the Bulldogs. Takes one for a strike. Count even, 1-1. Carter, one of those 7 Bulldog seniors who were all honored pregame yesterday here on senior weekend. Batting .272 on the year, but coming into the weekend had been State's hottest hitter in the last 10 games.
Yeah, and she's had some really good at-bats, too. May not have the numbers that she'd want behind it for the weekend, but she has had productive, solid at-bats, seeing the ball well.
Pop up into foul territory. Will land a couple of rows up in the seats off to our right. 2-2 on Carter, batting 5th in the state order today. Looks like both teams have essentially gone back to their starters from game 1. That pitch just misses. Tough take, but a good take from Carter, and now the count's gone full.
Man, that was close, especially with 2 strikes. Monticelli goes on the outside corner. Woo! Good work behind the plate with Bergeron making that look really pretty.
Carter hits one to the shortstop, flip to second, relay is in time, a double play, 6-4-3. Monticelli comes in and does her job. LSU shuts the door, but a big swing of the bat for the Bulldogs as Nadia Barbary ties things up.
The Bulldogs just know how to respond in the bottom of the first. Brand new ball game tied up 2-2 as we head into the second.
Boost for the NCAA postseason. These two teams coming into the weekend were both top 20. I would imagine those numbers have shifted just a little bit with State winning the first two of the series, but lots of postseason implications, conference and NCAA this weekend here at News Park.
Yeah, when you talk about hosting a postseason, that's exactly what every team wants to do, and LSU has done it a lot over the time that Trina's been there. Mississippi State looking to do it for the first time, but it's such a big advantage to be playing at home in the postseason, especially in that first round. And Mississippi State on the outside looking in. What a play.
Amazing grab at second base. Zion Romero. A web gem to rob a base hit away from Lorenz.
Even with a lot of strikeouts, the defense has backed up Alyssa Faircloth and this pitching staff right there. Zion Romero stretches all the way out to take a double away from Bergeron.
Romero had a home run yesterday. Great defense all weekend. Has been a really good player for State here in the final regular season weekend of softball here at News Park. 1-0 the count to Lorenz as Bergeron lines out to begin the inning. Big swing and a miss there. Sophomore from Munster, Indiana. Batting .237. Did not play yesterday. Was 0 for 3 in a start in game one. Watches that one drop in for a called strike 2.
Yeah, she had 3 strikeouts in the game against Faircloth off of the changeup, all 3 of them.
Looking to reverse that voodoo here. Grounds out to the shortstop. Has good speed, but that throw got there just in time.
That was a lot closer than I think anybody expected, but Stiles just in time to get the speedy Lorenz down the line. I think she'll remember that next time Lorenz comes up to bat. A little more urgency. Not going to say she was nonchalant, but you're right. Off the bat, I thought routine play. That was not routine. Lorenz has a little more speed than I think we were expecting. But the out is recorded by the Bulldogs shortstop Stiles, and there are now 2 gone with no one on. And Allie Hutchins, number 8 hitter in the lineup today for LSU, steps up for the first time. Takes a strike. Hutchins was the 9-hole hitter on Friday, hit 7th yesterday, batting 8th today. Plug and play, trying to get that bottom of the lineup to have some production. All of it's been coming from the top of the lineup for LSU. Looking for production, switching some things up in that bottom third.
That ball just missed down and away. So 2 balls and a strike on Hutchins. A native of Kentucky, began her college career playing in the SEC at Kentucky there in Lexington. Takes a strike. And the count evens back up, this time at 2-2. Hutchins batting .211 on the year. Just got a piece of it. So she will stay alive for at least one more pitch. Trying to keep the top of the second alive. Trying to see if she and Hodge can reach, give an opportunity to the top of the order to come up with runners on. In there, call strike 3. Faircloth goes 3 up, 3 down against the LSU lineup here in the top of the second. We remain tied at 2. We head to the home half of the second inning here in Starkville, Mississippi. These two teams, LSU and Mississippi State, certainly trying to do whatever they can these last 2 weekends and at the SEC tournament coming up May 5th through the 9th to make a bid to host a regional. You mentioned the last half inning, Brittany. LSU's done it numerous times. In fact, most of the years that Beth Tarina's been there, they've hosted a regional, if not a regional and a super regional. Mississippi State trying for the first time in her program's history to get to host a regional. They've hosted a super regional before. They were able to do that 4 years ago here in Starkville in 2022. But what a huge boost it would be for this program if they can make that bid to host a regional and be one of those top 16 teams.
Yeah, and you got to take care of business on the field, right? And they've done that the past 2 days. Their RPI has risen 2 spots since coming into this weekend, but a sweep, I think, would give them a little bit more, get in that top 16, really make the selection committee consider you as a host. And I think Mississippi State has a great resume as far as top 25 wins. They have no bad losses on the season.
That's the key, right?
And that's been their Achilles heel in the past few years, especially last year. A couple bad losses really hurt them. This year, they have a clean sheet. Now they just need to stack those top 25 RPI wins. Today's a big one.
Samantha Ricketts and the Bulldog coaching staff, they have not shied away from talking openly about that's the goal. That's the next step. This program has gone to regionals almost every year. It's can you now take that next step and be one of those top 16 teams and host one here in Starkville?
Yeah, and I think that's great for the coaching staff to, have those goals, and that means your team and your program's getting better. The players, though, on the other hand, they don't need to mess with RPI and rankings and DSR. Their job is to win the ball games and realize all that will take care of itself if you take care of your job.
State's done that so far on the weekend, but a big game for both teams today. With these two teams having resumes so similar to one another, just the optics, right? If you're a committee member, just the optics of State beating LSU head-to-head, especially if they sweep LSU. I mean, that could play heavily in State's favor in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it could, especially if they have to start digging through the details. The head-to-head will make a huge difference. But Macy Badgeron took a shot right there off the head. She's returning. This is her first series back after missing 4 games from injury, and she's kind of taking a beating back there past couple days. Tough athlete, really strong behind the plate, really takes away the stolen base threat from most of the teams she plays because of the arm she has behind the plate. Hanging in there tough.
Both catchers have done a good job this weekend. Ground ball could be 2 again. Edwards trying to do it herself as she does. 6 unassisted over to 3. The second twin killing for LSU in the ball game.
Yeah, double plays can be such a momentum builder for your defense. Monticelli, nice, easy hop for Edwards. Does the right thing, takes it herself. Nice shot over the first base. Bases cleared, and now 2 outs.
What a weekend for the Bulldog transfer. Played her first couple of seasons in Starkville. Transferred to LSU last offseason. Has had a really good year and a fantastic weekend. Made 1 mistake defensively on Friday night, but other than that has played really, really well.
And that 1 mistake, you won't see it in the scorebook, but it was raining and the ball was wet, and I think, a wet ball, throw it into right field, run came across. But besides that, her glove and her bat, she's definitely made an impact this week.
And again, the ball finds her. Flip across in time. Rivera is retired. Monticelli gives up a single, but ends up facing the minimum in the bottom of the second. We're tied at 2. And I understand that's part of the Sells family. Kiara and Kehlani.
You could hear them coming up today to the game. They all have their motorcycles out parked behind center field. Got the smoker going, and probably the best seat in the house right behind center field. Have some cold beverages and some food and watch a good game.
Hard hit ball, but right at Sells. Speaking of which, they're in right field. Kiara Sells makes the grab. Hodge, the 9-hole slap hitter, just got the bat too far underneath the ball that time. That's out number 1.
And Hodge has really done a good job of turning this lineup over the top, being a base runner, but this time bases cleared with the top coming back. And this is the 5th time that Lassiter's seen Faircloth, and the more looks you get on a pitcher, that, the opportunities and just this probability of having better at bats the further you go, it leans towards the hitter.
Lassiter had an RBI base hit against Faircloth on Friday in that 5-3 LSU loss to Mississippi State. Faircloth drops one on the inside corner for a strike, 1-2 the count. Lassiter 0 for 1 today, struck out swinging her first time up against Faircloth. Ground ball foul, third base side will do it again. Daniel in the on-deck circle. If anyone reaches, if either she or Lassiter reach, then we'll have Kylie Edwards set to come up, who had the big 2-run home run for LSU to get our scoring started in the top of the first. Good defensive swing right there to stay alive as Lassiter fouls it back and out of play.
That was a good aggressive swing on a pitch, a hard pitch with velocity, fouls off the changeup, the one before, attacks the hard stuff. Still 1-2 count, but good at bat by Lassiter.
That's a nice swing right up the middle. Right through the circle and behind the bag at second. Lassiter's on base. Her first hit today.
It takes this backdoor curve right back up the middle, and as I was saying, the more looks you see on the pitcher, the advantage tends to lean towards the hitter, and this top of the LSU lineup has really been the juggernaut for this team. They're responsible for the runs and most of the offensive production.
Daniel shows bunt, bunts it foul. She showed bunt, never tried to lay one down her first at bat, but is apparently up there trying to get Lassiter over into scoring position.
And even with sacrificing a runner over the speed that Sierra Daniel has, I don't know if it's a true sacrifice. I think she's trying to get on too as a bonus.
Did not show bunt that time and takes it for a strike. 0-2 the count. Lassiter on at first after her team leading 51st hit of the season. 1 on, 1 out. That misses downstairs. 1-2. Faircloth has given up a couple of hits today. The 2-run home run to Edwards, Kylie Edwards back in the first, and the single to Lassiter here in the third. That's going to sneak through for a base hit. Daniel that time just kind of slapped it through, pulled it to the right side, and there are 2 on for Kylie Edwards. And this is what she did her last at bat. A big 2-run home run to left center.
Yeah, this is the hottest hitter in the LSU lineup, and you don't want to face her with runners on, but back-to-back base hits by LSU has Kylie Edwards in a position to attack a couple more on the board. A lot of speed on the bases as well, so ball in the grass, looking home all the way.
If you're Faircloth, how do you pitch Edwards in this situation?
You got to go. You got to keep the one she hit out was elevated in the zone, right? Had a lot of plate, so I'd be working around the knees, changing speeds, and trying to establish that inner half.
Got one at the knees right there for a strike. 1-1 the count. Edwards 3 hits on the weekend. Has earned her way on base 7 times through 3 ball games. That's going to be on the inside corner. Nicely done by Faircloth. That's tough, too, because Kylie Edwards crowds that corner.
Yep.
And Faircloth was able to sneak it in there, 1 and 2.
And if you can get her to roll over something to the left side, get the lead runner and possible double play.
Call strike 3, beautifully done by Faircloth. A rare put-out of Kylie Edwards this weekend, and there are now 2 gone.
I love this pitch by Alyssa Faircloth. In her first game against LSU, she hit Kylie Edwards twice trying to come inside. She makes the adjustment to find that perfect window, low and in on the corner.
It's up to Franklin now to cash in for LSU on this runners in scoring position opportunity. Franklin today 0 for 1. She struck out looking her first time up in the first inning against Faircloth. Foul ball. Count evens up 1 and 1.
And for a left-handed pitcher to get a ball inside to a righty, a lot of lefties struggle with that. A lot of times they'll leave it over the heart of the plate or run it in too far. It's a very tough pitch for a lefty, but what Faircloth was able to do against Edwards was pretty. And again there, and for a right-handed hitter, seeing that ball start off the plate coming into your timing is disrupted. It's hard to get your barrel out. Just doing a nice job against these righties in this inning.
Lassiter at second, Daniel at first. Good speed on the bases for LSU. 2-strike pitch to Franklin. She just gets a piece of it to stay alive. Nice defensive swing. Franklin, just a sophomore. Batting .273 on the season. That just misses down and away. The count evens up at 2.
And that was a very similar pitch, that backdoor curve that Faircloth was able to get Alex Franklin to strike out looking on in her first at bat.
Downstairs, gets away from Rivera. Both runners take off and will advance. Now a base hit should give LSU a 2-run lead.
It's a nice job of Franklin battling back. Really love her presence in the box.
A full count with Tori Edwards in the on-deck circle. This ball lifted into left, drops in for a base hit. LSU regains the lead. Throw comes home, safe. 2 runs come across. We might see a replay here, but LSU has regained their 2-run advantage. What a nice 2-out base hit from Franklin.
Yeah, she worked this count. She fell behind early, worked it back to a full count, and then gets a pitch that she can just drive into left field with 2 outs, runners moving on the pitch. But I think we're going to take another look at this safe call at the plate.
State is challenging that ruling. We're under review.
So 1 run came across no problem. The question is, on run number 2 from Daniel, does she cross before the tag's applied by Rivera?
Great throw by Bernardini, and she gets that left knee.
What do you think?
Initially live, I thought she was out. Even though that right foot's out in front, the right foot doesn't get a plate. Let's see where that tag comes in. I think she's out by about an inch. I still see dirt. And Rivera's done a great job positioning. No chance for obstruction. Beautiful throw by Bernardini. And if you're Daniel there, you want to get that front foot, that right foot. Let's see what we have.
After review, the call in the field has changed. The runner is out. Mississippi State retains their challenge.
Regain the lead, but it's a 1-run advantage because the call is overturned. 3-2, LSU back on top as we head to the middle of the 3rd. In Starkville, Mississippi. Alongside Brittany McKinney, I'm Anthony Craven. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. LSU has just regained the lead, Brittany. It's 3-2. We talked pregame, or talked at the open, the lack of 2-out hitting from LSU. Already today, we've seen a couple of really big 2-out base hits.
Yeah, that's been the difference for LSU. They've been getting runners on all weekend long, but they just haven't been able to get them in.
This is a drive deep to center, but with a step in front of the warning track. The catch is made by Lassiter. A long and loud out by the 9-hole hitter, Kinley Keller. There's one away and no one on for the top of the Bulldog lineup, Morgan Stiles. Stiles 1 for 1 today. And just like we saw on Friday when Monticelli was in the circle in relief for LSU, the Bulldog hitters, not much success against her.
Yeah, she really came in and shut down Mississippi State. An earned run came across, a run came across, but it wasn't, Mississippi State didn't string much together off of her. They just weak fly balls, a couple strikeouts, but kind of much of the same here. But top of the lineup trying to get something going for Mississippi State. Just like LSU, I feel like the top of the lineup for both these teams have been, the go-getters, the one making a difference and an impact on the scoreboard.
Stiles now batting .338 on the year. A chopper right back to the circle. Monticelli fires it over, and she has quickly retired the first two she's faced in the third. And it brings up the senior, Nadia Barbary, her first time up today against the starter, Clopton. Tied the game at the time with a big 2-run home run. Yeah,
first pitch she's seen off of Clopton, wastes no time, very aggressive. It's it right over the center field fence. She's seen Monticelli a couple times already.
Strike delivered by Monticelli. Two and 2/3 thrown by Monticelli because Clopton never recorded an out as the starter. In 2 2/3, just the one base hit. No runs allowed. Inducing a lot of routine ground balls. No walks, no strikeouts, balls getting put into play. LSU making some defensive plays behind Monticelli, a couple of double plays.
Yeah, those double plays have been huge for Monticelli, but she's been working ahead, and she did it to Morgan Stiles previous at bat. Now, again with Nadia Barbary. Love how she's attacking the zone.
Barbary stays alive. Defensive swing right there. Count remains 1-2. Twelve homers on the year for Barbary after her 2-run homer in the first. Batting average for the senior back to .340. But she and Stiles have done a good job. She, Stiles, and Sells all year long have been consistent in the top third of the order as Barbary hits that one hard but foul and out of play off to our left. We'll do it again. Count remains 1-2. That's wasted outside. Count evens up.
I felt like I had a little extra on it. I wish we had a radar gun. That one popped the catcher's glove behind there. Monticelli, somebody that can reach 71, 72.
Has that tall, strong frame. That's downstairs. Good take. Check swing. She did not go around on the appeal. And now the count's full.
A lot of credit to Nadia Barbary. That changeup in the dirt was set up perfectly. That pitch hard and outside, then comes back with a nice changeup, but better disciplined by Barbary.
Swing and a miss. Came inside, changed speeds, and Barbary goes down swinging. A 1-2-3 inning for Monticelli and the Tigers. They remain on top, 3-2. The Bulldogs pitching staff has been really good all season and this weekend. Alyssa Faircloth, number 4, Paige Gould, number 3. They've been tag teaming back and forth. They've had success against this LSU lineup. Speaking of Paige Gould, here she is taking over for Alyssa Faircloth as we head to inning number 4.
As hitters are getting more and more looks off of Faircloth, they were going on their 5th at bat, bringing in Paige Gould to give them a different look. And Gould had great success yesterday, even received a golden ticket after the game, but she's not going to rely as much on her changeup, though she has one. She just spins the ball so well. Some of the best spin I have ever seen, and it had LSU off balance yesterday.
LSU with a lead, 3-2 here in the fourth inning. Leading things off, Tori Edwards fouls back the first pitch from Gould.
And you see her scouting report. She's definitely spin over speed, just in the mid-60s. That curveball on both sides, backdoor and straight up, is going to get hitters out in front, off the end of the bat, and swing and misses.
High fly ball, foul territory, near third base. Barbary calls everyone off, and she makes the grab, and Gould retires Edwards to begin the top of the fourth. Do you think the plan all along was Faircloth for 3 innings and then go to Gould?
I think they definitely had Paige Gould ready to go. It's going to allow Faircloth. I mean, if she was rolling, they'd keep her out there. But
sure.
LSU started having better at bats, stringing things together, getting runners on base. And then, it's good. It's Sunday. It's day 3, all hands on deck. Both teams have gone to their bullpen already this game, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see both teams go to their bullpen again later in the game.
Gould facing Macy Bajeron. Bajeron, her first time up today against Faircloth, hit it hard, but a great catch was made by the Bulldogs second baseman Romero to rob her of a base hit. In at the knees, but it just missed off the corner. 2-1 the count. LSU 3 runs on 4 hits. The Bulldogs 2 runs on 3 hits. The difference in the game so far, that big 2-out RBI from Franklin.
And the first time Mississippi State didn't immediately respond to a run that LSU put up.
This time Gould finds the inside corner against the LSU catcher, and the count goes full. Both offenses having success today through the first 3 innings. And that misses off the inside corner. Bajeron, quality at bat. She draws the 1-out walk.
Try to go back inside with that backdoor curveball. That one just falls out of the hand. Doesn't make Bajeron make a tough decision. She jogs on down to first base.
1 on, 1 gone. Char Lorenz steps in, looking for her first hit of the weekend. Hits one foul, strike 1, third base side.
I'm sure Char Lorenz is happy to see the pitching change in the circle. She didn't get to hit off of Paige yesterday, didn't play in game 2, did play in game 1, 0 for 3 off of Alyssa Faircloth with 3 strikeouts. So I'm sure if anybody's happy to see a change and something new is Char Lorenz.
Batting .235 on the year. Hits one hard again, but again out in front of it, but aggressive swings against Gould.
Yeah, she's ready to see something different, even if it is Paige Gould, who not many hitters are excited to see in the circle. She really struggled against that off speed, that changeup from Alyssa Faircloth, but Paige Gould well ahead here.
The 0-2. High fly ball. Bernardini ranging over into foul territory and left, makes the catch for out number 2.
Much better at bat by Char Lorenz there.
Yes.
Just found herself out in front of that 0-2 pitch. And if you're Paige Gould, you're going to keep that in the back of your mind. You got to move that one back out further against that hitter.
Bajeron remains on at first, and now it's up to the 8-hole hitter Hutchins to keep the inning alive for LSU as the Tigers are trying to expand on their lead. They jumped out to a 2-0 advantage. State tied it at 2. And LSU regained that lead in the third with an RBI base hit from Franklin. And that's where we are here in the top of the fourth. That's Hutchins, the DP. An 8-hole hitter steps up for the second time today. Struck out looking her first time up, but that was against Faircloth. Now facing Gould who she saw yesterday and did not have much success against her in the Saturday ball game. Time called here.
I think there was an illegal pitch called by the first base umpire there, Chelsea Clark. I saw her hand motion. It seems like she was saying that that right foot, that pivot foot, stepped forward off the rubber for Gould. So now, most people think that's strike three, but it was a 2-1 count. Now a 2-2 count.
Yes.
Here's the pitch that was called illegal. Watch that right foot. Maybe a slight step forward.
Swing and a miss. Didn't matter. Strike three is called eventually. We head to the middle of the fourth. The best softball conference in America on display at the SEC softball tournament this year, May 5th through the 9th. All 15 teams will get there. Top 9 will advance past the first round, get a first round bye, single elimination throughout. And right now, if you're trying to handicap who's going to win this thing, I mean, a handful of teams could, but my goodness, Alabama and Oklahoma right now, the way they're playing, I would not want to count them out of anything.
No, the Alabama taking the game last night, Tennessee 12-0 in 5 innings. I mean, mayhem is upon us, and I can't believe we got here so quickly. I mean, it's a long season. Clearwater, the big tournament that really jump starts the season, feels so long ago, but I mean, mayhem being here is like been here in a blink of an eye. That tournament's going to be awesome, and the fact that Mississippi State and LSU right there at 9 and 10, one game separates the two. They would have if Mississippi State wins this game, they would be tied in SEC play and have the head-to-head. LSU wins this game, they separate themselves a little bit from Mississippi State in that 9 spot for that first round bye.
And you also have right behind LSU and the Bulldogs a Missouri team that's fighting for its life to get to the postseason. They got to finish above 500. If they do, they probably get into a regional. But right now they're sitting at 25 and 26 heading into this Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, last year they would have gotten in if they were over that 500 mark. Having that same battle again this year.
Pop up, shallow in right, calling off Franklin and making the grab for LSU to retire Sells there for out number 1, and Sells continues to have a bit of a struggle offensively on the weekend.
Yeah, she's one of those players you seemingly always count on. But LSU's done a nice job to keep that bat quiet, and Mississippi State, after the first inning, their bats have really been silenced.
Good communication there in shallow right between Daniel and Franklin. Soft grounder over to third. Hodge picks it up and throws to first in time, and Ernstess is retired quickly, and there are 2 gone here in the bottom of the 4th.
And what I've noticed over the later innings after that first at bat for Mississippi State is that discipline and that patience kind of goes out the window. Right there, Ernstess first pitch swinging, really kind of making it easy on the pitchers.
Monticelli has been in a groove since coming on in relief in the first after the starter Tatum Clopton gave up a 2-run home run and could not retire any of the first 4 batters she faced. Anna Carter now batting for the Bulldogs, 0 for 1 today. Batting just below 270 now on the season. Fouls one back right off the netting into the on-deck circle. 1-2 the count. Last time Carter was up, she grounded into a double play. That was back in the first, and since then, LSU has been in a groove in the circle and defensively on the infield.
Yeah, the defense, anytime Mississippi State had a runner on, they came up with a big double play to clear the bases. defense behind Monticelli. She gets some credit, too, for her dominance so far, but, I mean, not many balls leaving the infield either.
Sales popped out. Ernstis grounded out. Carter hits one, a flare out to left center. Calling off Lorenz is the center fielder Lassiter as she makes the grab for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down. Go to Bulldogs. LSU on top after 4. LSU an advantage.
You know, for LSU, it's been that 2-out hitting, getting runners on. First 2 games, they've had a ton of runners. I think there was 17 runners left on base in 2 games. Today, they're taking care of business when they get runners on. But Mississippi State, you know, they just feel a little flat coming out today. And yesterday, big emotional day. You had senior day. You had a series win. You had Peja Gould getting the golden ticket into AAUSL. But today, they have an opportunity to sweep a top team. And it just feels like the energy's not there. The energy was there after LSU scored in the first and they responded. But you know, it's these middle innings that really make a difference. And it's LSU today that's been able to put some things together in the heart of the game.
The 9-hole hitter Hodge grounded out to Stiles at short. And now the dangerous top of the order for LSU is up at the plate with Jayla Lassiter, followed by Daniel. Strike delivered by Gould. 1-1 goes the count. There you see number 23, Daniel in the on-deck circle. Lassiter 1 for 2 today. Daniel 1 for 1 with a walk. Kylie Edwards 1 for 2 with a home run. Franklin 1 for 2 with an RBI. Top 4 in the order have done literally everything for LSU offensively today.
Today and this weekend. I mean, this top third of the order has come through clutch with some long balls, some good hitting, getting on base, working walks. Not a bad pitch there, but we've talked about the discipline all weekend that LSU has. Over 200 walks on the season. They have not chased out of the zone.
Lassiter individually 29 walks on the year. That's in there. Tried to sell it, did Lassiter, but she knew it was strike 2. Now the count's full. Lassiter has 29 walks. Daniel has, I believe, 31. Yeah, 31 base on balls. Pop up, foul territory, and out of play. And we'll do it again. LSU hitters today, 4 of 16 against Faircloth and Gould. State hitters today, 3 of 13 against Clopton and Monticelli. Big swing and a miss right there. And Gould, who was good against Lassiter yesterday, gets her to swing and miss for strike 3 here today in her first time against her.
And just a well-located pitch, that drop ball on the inner half of the plate. Gets it on the corner. Lassiter protecting with 2 strikes, but too much movement.
Second strikeout in this relief outing for Gould. We mentioned the top 4 hitters in the lineup for LSU: Lassiter, Daniel, Kylie Edwards, and Franklin. And there you see, they have 4 hits and 3 runs. The rest of the team, zilch.
So we weren't making it up. The numbers back us.
Hitters 5 through 9 have only reached base 1 time for LSU today. That was a walk earned by Bajeron, her last time up. 3-0, the count to Daniel. With bases empty and 2 gone, LSU on top by 1. As expected, Gould comes back and throws a strike in there with Daniel taking, and now the count's 3 balls and a strike. On the junior left-handed hitter, Sierra Daniel. Grounds 1 foul. Now the count's full. Daniel's been on base twice and has scored twice today. A walk and a run scored in the first, a base hit, and a run scored in the third. Slow roller, could be trouble. Throw to first is there in time. Nicely done by Romero at second base. And Gould retires the Tigers in order in the fifth rather, but LSU still on top by 1.
Espinoza from Arizona's single season home run record. And she hasn't been slowing down. I was at a home run yesterday against Georgia, who has a really solid pitching staff, and she's gone against some great pitching staffs all year long being in the SEC, but nobody seems to be able to keep the ball in the park with Kendall Wells.
Oklahoma has had record-breaking home runs this season. UCLA with a duo of sluggers. They're on the brink of also breaking their own records in that storied program's history. And then you have what Torres has done individually at Florida State. Maybe pound for pound, all around, the best softball player in America this season.
Yeah, I think the National Player of the Year is your full resume, what you can do as a player. And Torres, the most consistent hitter in the nation, and she's playing shortstop at a premier school without giving up an error. And we have a long drive.
Off the wall, Greta Grassel could be a play at third. Throws not in time. How about that? The pinch hitter, Greta Grassel, comes up and hits a double off the wall after Romero led off the inning with a single up the middle. And the Bulldogs, with some aggressive swings, have quickly put 2 on in scoring position with no one out.
Greta Grassel coming through once again in a pitch hit situation. We saw her in game 1 off of Monticelli with a double to get things going for Mississippi State. Gets her number called once again and delivers first pitch she's seen. And there's finally some life and a pulse in that dugout.
Well, and Samantha Ricketts has gone to the dugout now twice in this inning, perhaps trying to spark the offense. Grassel did her job, and now we got Troutman, a second consecutive pinch hitter coming up for State.
And Troutman has been clutch in pitch hit roles, but infield's pulled in tight for LSU with just a 1-run game here. So their range is going to be limited on anything in the dirt, but they are looking to get that out at the plate, not allow that tying run to score.
Is it ground ball go right now, either State?
Yeah, second and third, no outs. Even if you are out at the plate, ideally you end up in the same situation with second and third, 1 out, and at least give yourself a chance, put pressure on the defense.
Troutman's been good this year, though, at hitting the ball to the outfield.
Yes, a sac fly would be great for Mississippi State.
That's right at the knees for a strike, and the count.
I think it's 2-1.
I think it is 2 balls and a strike, yes. Ron Alexander will confirm that for us here in just a second. That misses low and away. First time we've seen on this weekend Monticelli in trouble.
Yeah, she hasn't had to pitch in pressure situations. Anytime Mississippi State got something going, defense would turn a double play, but great discipline coming off the bench for Taylor Troutman here.
A 3-1 count. It is a walk to load the bases. So Troutman, a pinch hitter, never even has to swing. 5 pitches, and she draws the walk.
And I think that's kind of the situation dictating Monticelli what she wanted to throw. She's a rise ball pitcher, but in that situation, you don't want anything up in the zone where Taylor Troutman can drive in the outfield for a sacrifice fly. Tried to live down by the knees, but couldn't find a strike there. Mississippi State, bases loaded, no outs. Big opportunity.
And they'll bring Allie Supan out of the dugout to run at first. And now Beth Torina, the LSU head coach, as the chess match is going on now between the coaching staffs, she calls time And she wants to bring the whole infield in to discuss how they want to pitch and defend this situation. Romero's at third, Grassel at second, Supan at first. No one has scored yet, but the Dogs have the bases juiced, no one out. And they got Keller, the 9-hole hitter, due up with the top of the order coming up behind her.
And you see the bullpen getting some work there for LSU. That's Heavner on the left, the lefty that got the start in game 1. But you mentioned Keller, the 9-hole coming up right now. She's not a typical 9-hole. She's a freshman, been in and out of the lineup, but she's hitting over 300. She has power with 2 home runs on the season, double-digit RBI, so she's not your normal 9-hole. She definitely has some pop there, but for her to be able to turn over the lineup, get some momentum for Mississippi State here would be huge.
And Keller, her last time up against Monticelli, hit it deep to the warning track in center field. Bases are loaded for the Bulldogs. No one out. That misses downstairs.
And if I'm Mississippi State, I'm staying patient. All this pressure right now is on Monticelli in the circle. Just walk the bases loaded after giving up a couple hits. Make her find the zone. Don't help her out.
Ground ball right side. Only plays at 1. We're tied. A ground ball, but an RBI for the 9-hole hitter Keller. We got a brand new ball game now.
And I think Daniel wanted to come home on that. That's the play. I mean, that's a routine ground ball, but Supan running in front of her kind of distracted her, got her off balance, and took the safe play at first base.
So good job by Keller to get the ball put into play. And we're tied at 3 with runners on in scoring position, still less than 2 outs for the top of the order, Morgan Stiles, who is 1 for 2 today.
And the infield still pulled in tight for LSU.
The Bulldogs have not led today. A base hit would change that. But Stiles so far has not seen anything close to the strike zone. 2-0 the count.
And Monticelli trying to work the bottom half of the zone down around the knees, not allowing Mississippi State to get something elevated into the outfield, but having a tough time finding that zone.
Stiles fouls that one back. And again, that was low in the zone. Strike 1. 5 hits now for Mississippi State. Grassel doubled. Zion Romero singled. Troutman drew a walk. Keller drove in a run with a ground ball to the right side. Now the count's 3-1. First base is empty, but Barbary is the on-deck hitter.
Right. And she has a lot more power than Stiles. And if you're Stiles here, you're looking something outer half. You don't want anything in on your hands that you would roll over to the left side. You want something behind the runners.
Ground ball, glove by Edwards, could be 2, and it is an inning-ending double play. Kylie Edwards, the 3rd double play she's turned today, and it gets the Tigers out of the jam. Wow.
Defense coming up big behind Monticelli, finds herself in a bases-loaded, no-out jam here with 1 out. Kylie Edwards gets the line drive, big jump off of second base. LSU looking to regain the lead when we come back. Last one with the bases loaded. Makes a nice play, heads up to get the runner at second base. She's doing it on defense, been a momentum killer for Mississippi State, but she's also swung the bat well, has a home run on the day.
Her 2nd time to face Gould as she struck out looking against her. The last time she faced her in the 3rd. And as Brittany mentioned, had that big 2-run home run to get the scoring started in the 1st. Gould again attacking that inside corner at the knees. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, Edwards is so good with things middle out, getting her barrel extended. Mississippi State, you can see that they're trying to work in on the hands here.
Slow roller, going to have to be a good throw. Throw to first is not in time. Boy, Edwards flashes the speed. Certainly did not hit it cleanly, but got just enough of it to get to first base in time.
Yeah, definitely off the end of the bat. Not a bad pitch by Peja Gould. Just didn't have enough on it to get to Styles in time, and sprinting hard out of the box and using her speed. Kylie Edwards on base once again.
That is the 4th hit on the weekend for Kylie Edwards. And once again, the top 4 in the order for LSU are getting the job done. We're tied at 3. What a swing of momentum last half inning. State does tie the game, but LSU, facing bases loaded, no one out, gets out of there without surrendering the lead.
Yeah, I think you think about building momentum, you think about offense, you know, putting balls in the gap over the fence, but momentum can really be built on defense too, especially with a play like that, to get out of that jam without surrendering the lead and then come back, get your bats going, lead off on. Even though Mississippi had a great opportunity, it feels like LSU has the momentum still.
LSU, they've been trying to bunt some today. They finally get one down, a good bunt from Franklin, and that will advance Kylie Edwards over into scoring position. And we're in the late innings now, so anytime you can get someone over to second or third, less than 2 outs, you got to do it.
Yeah, you're playing for 1 run here. 1 run at a time. It's been hard for Mississippi State to score. LSU as well all weekend long. Sometimes on game 3 you see an outburst of offense.
Deep fly ball. Tori Edwards got all of that one. LSU has regained the lead. Their 2nd home run of the day. Tori Edwards, her 12th of the year to lead LSU, and the Tigers had the lead by 2 at 5-3.
LSU responding immediately after the threat by Mississippi State. This pitch belt high and sends it high in the sky right over center field. LSU responds immediately and regains a 2-run lead.
Edwards and Edwards, Kylie and Tori have driven in the majority of LSU's runs today. First time LSU has led this deep into a ball game on the weekend, trying to salvage the final game. State has won the first 2 of the series. But at this juncture in the season, sure, series wins are important, but it's about just individual wins.
Yes.
Trying to pad the resume, as these 2 teams, once again, are very much in the thick of the conversation to be one of those SEC host teams for regionals coming up in May.
And the selection committee does not look at SEC rankings, conference rankings when they go to make their decisions. They look at the wins you have, the top 25 wins you have, and to be able to put another one here for Mississippi State would be huge. Same for LSU and their situation to stay in that top 16. So this is not just about a series win or a sweep. It's about winning individual ball games.
Majoron's the hitter. How will Gould respond? 3-1 the count to the LSU catcher. Tori Edwards just smashed a 2-run home run to center field to regain the lead for LSU. Strike delivered, and now the count's full. The long ball has been big for both teams on the weekend, and it's driven in 4 of the 5 runs today for the Tigers. Hard hit ball over the head of Grassel in left. And that's a screaming single off the bat of Bajoron. And LSU has a runner on at first, still just 1 out.
Back-to-back barrels for LSU. This pitch on the outer half, but gets her barrel on it. Unable to track it down in left field as Grassel, as that one hops the fence, but still standing on first base, but bringing in some speed now for LSU.
Bajoron will give way to Destiny Harris, who runs for her at first base. So LSU gets some added speed on the bases, trying to expand the lead further. They're on top 5-3 in the top of the 6th. The bottom 3 in the order now coming up, beginning with Char Lorenz, who takes ball 1 low and away. Good crowd on hand for today's game. Yesterday, though, we saw a great crowd. In fact, the largest crowd ever in the history of News Park, over 2,600. And once again, Gould misses off the inside corner. Gould's having a hard time finding the strike zone with regularity here in the 6th inning. Upstairs, ball 3, 3-0 to the 7-hole hitter Lorenz, who's 0 for 2 today. And 0 for 5 on the weekend.
Yeah, she was really aggressive in her last at bat off of Peja. This time showing a lot more discipline, making Peja Gould find the zone, helping out the pitcher.
Nice timeout call there by Rivera.
For sure. See Peja out there definitely wiping the sweat off the forehead. I mean, it's not exceptionally hot today, but down on the field, it's pretty stale. Not much wind, some humidity.
That's in there for a strike, 3-1. There you see those overall records. These two teams are right there with very similar resumes, each with over 30 wins. Foul ball, catcher calls for it. Rivera will squeeze it. And that'll be out number 2, and Lorenz is retired. Nice job there by Gould to battle back. She was down 3-0, got the pop out.
Yeah, had a nice little break given to her by her catcher, Des Rivera. Catch her breath, refocus, and gets the second out.
Now we have potentially a pinch hitter for LSU. Yes, they will call the number of Riley Johnson, a lefty freshman. We saw her in a pinch hit situation yesterday as well. And now timeout called by Mississippi State, and perhaps a pitching change.
They're looking down to the bullpen.
Pitching coach Taryn Mowat calls time. And the Bulldogs will call the number of Delaney Everett. And a nice ovation here for Peja Gould, who is exiting News Park. She hopes not for the last time, but you never know here on senior weekend. So time for a break. We'll come back and talk about the new Bulldog pitcher, Delaney Everett, in just a moment. Top of the 6th inning in Starkville, 15th ranked LSU trying to salvage the 3rd and final game of this one. 19th ranked Mississippi State trying to come back from down 2 in the later innings. And they'll go to their 3rd different pitcher of the game, the junior lefty, Delaney Everett, who is making her 8th appearance of the season, been battling injuries, had off-season shoulder surgery, has not been used a ton this year, Brittany, but is coming off a good relief outing last weekend against A&M.
Yeah, with the A&M bats that many pitchers can't tame, it seemed like Everett did a nice job throwing a good mix and getting out of some trouble there. And after missing the first half of this season, recovering from that surgery, getting her back towards the end of the season has been a big piece for Mississippi State, and she's called upon here to keep the game just a 2-run game.
Everett's only thrown 8 2/3 innings all season, but has yet to give up an earned run in that time. Johnson flies one out to left, so Everett comes in and gets the job done. Gets the pinch hitter Johnson to fly out to left, and we head to the bottom of the 6th. But LSU, their home run leader, Tori Edwards, gets a 2-run home run. They're back on top of the Bulldogs by 2 at 5-3. LSU 6 outs away from salvaging the final game of the weekend against Mississippi State. They lead 5-3. And there you see back in the circle for her 6th inning of work is Peyton Monticelli. Technically a relief outing, but she has recorded every out of the game so far for the Tigers.
And she has not gone this far in a ball game. The last time she pitched 6 complete innings was February 28. She hasn't pitched 7 complete innings since opening weekend, February 6th. Though, seeing the endurance and see how she comes up in these last couple innings. Got into some trouble last inning, right? Putting a couple hits together, but her defense bailed her out.
The bottom third of the order gave State an opportunity for a big inning, but LSU able to fight through it, only gave up 1 run, then more importantly, answered with a 2-run home run top half of this inning to regain the 2-run advantage they had back in the first inning. A tough portion of the Bulldog lineup, though, facing Monticelli here in the 6th. Barbary, Sells, and Ernstis due up. If anyone reaches, we'll see who State puts up in the 5-hole. Is it going to be Kaylani Sells, or will they re-enter Carter? We'll see what happens once we get there. A 1-2 count on Barbary, who has a home run today already. Looking for more here, fights it off and fouls it off to the right side. We'll do it again. After today, we're down to the last weekend of conference play in the regular season. And then the postseason begins. Conference tournament followed by NCAA regionals. Ground ball, third base side. Hodge gloves it, throws across the diamond in time. And Barbary is retired. 1 gone.
Next play for your Bulldogs, number 9, Kiara Sales.
LSU has played airless softball today, and that left side of the infield has made some magnificent plays as well to keep the Bulldogs off the scoreboard for much of the afternoon.
And they've kept Kiara Selves quiet all weekend long. Has been on base a couple times, but has not recorded a hit. Their most powerful bat in the lineup.
Here she is watching a strike. Nothing in 2 in the hole is Kiara Sells. 0 for 1 today. Did draw a walk, though, her last time up. She takes that one outside. That's the proverbial wasted 0-2 pitch, low and away. Now the count's 1-2.
And they've just been staying away from Sells all series long.
Hard hit ball down the line, but foul. Off the top of the wall, but foul by about 10 feet.
That's probably why she has that power to the pull side. But Sells has to start to recognize that where they're trying to get her out and commit to it. She can go opposite way just about as good as anybody else, but she's watched those pitches go by quite a few times this series.
She tried to go opposite way her last time up in the 4th and got underneath it and popped it out to shallow right to the second baseman, Daniel.
So Monticelli shaking off the original pitch sign, getting what she wants here.
Swing and a miss, big strikeout of Sells. And there are 2 gone with no one on for Paige Ernstis.
Kind of love it when a pitcher owns their pitch, shakes off the previous call, gets what she wants, and executes. Quick 2 outs for LSU and Monticelli.
And now the Bulldogs are down to their final 4 outs. And Beth Torina calls time.
I think she may be just making sure she re-entered. Was Allie Hutchins, who was pinch hit for last inning. Morgan Bajeron, who was pinch run for. Just making sure that lineup card's good to go.
Make sure it's correct and clean. Paige Ernstis already has 2 home runs on the weekend. Watches strike 1. Monticelli 3 hits, but just the 1 run allowed has walked 1 and struck out 2. Ernstess trying to get on for the first time today, trying to earn her way on for the first time today, reached on a fielder's choice back in the first. Looking back now, how big was that double play in the first inning to prevent State from scoring more than 2 runs. Ernstess pulls one into left for a single, a 2-out base hit. And now the tying run will come to the plate for Mississippi State.
Finds herself out in front of this pitch outside, but keeps her barrel through the zone long enough to have enough on it to get by Kylie Edwards at shortstop. Looking for some magic with 2 outs. Running out of outs in this ball game is Mississippi State. Allie Grace Richardson coming in to run for Ernstess. Ernstess coming back to her dugout, trying to breathe some life into there.
The senior Richardson from Brookhaven, Mississippi, got the start yesterday on Senior Day, and now gets some action here on the final home game of the regular season for the Bulldogs. So pinch runner at first base. There are 2 gone, and State does re-enter Carter. Kaylani Sales had come in defensively to replace her, but now Carter is back in the lineup. Lefty hitter, looking for something she can drive to the outfield, keep the inning alive. Fouls back the first pitch, 0-1 the count. Romero, who already has a home run on the weekend, is in the on-deck circle. Just catches the outside corner. 0-2. Monticelli quickly out in front of Carter.
And she's done a great job of that, working ahead of hitters, being in pitchers' counts all game long.
Ground ball, slow roller right to the first baseman. Edwards gloves it and touches the bag to get the out, and the inning is over. State strands 1, LSU on top by 2.
I don't know. I think if we get you a leather vest, you might be able to fit in. I don't know. I think you're probably right.
That's
you
all
can
right.
stick
No,
with bicycles.
I tried riding a motorcycle one time.
Yeah.
Granted, I was like 17.
Okay.
And I got off of
One
it.
of those dumb decisions by a 17-year-old boy.
I got off and I was like, I'm never doing that again.
There you go. Good decision.
Top of the 7th, LSU looking for some insurance. Swing and a miss right there. Appling, a pinch hitter to begin this inning for the Tigers.
She was trying to give some insurance on that one swing. Big cut.
Freshman right-handed hitter. Ooh, a hitter. Delaney Everett back in the circle for her second inning of relief work, and that one just got away from her. Up and in, and the pinch hitter, the freshman Appling, earns her way on the hard way. Wears one on the left shoulder.
Well, that's big for LSU in terms of insurance, because Appling getting on base. Now we're back to the top of the lineup that has done so much. They've scored 4 of the 5 runs that LSU has coming from the top 3 hitters.
This top of the lineup facing Everett for the first time. And now Hodge reinserted to run at first base, a really good runner. So Hodge at first after Appling gets hit by a pitch. Up the middle to second. Relay is not quite in time. State almost turned their own double play. LSU's turned 3 of those today, tying a program record for most twin killings in a game.
I like the decision here to take it yourself, but if she has that hand in her glove as she's going to second base instead of trying to get that ball out after she touches the base, may have saved a couple seconds, but either way, got to lead out.
Lassiter is a really good runner too, so it would have been a tough play anyway. Lassiter at first, reaching on the footer's choice. Lead runner was erased on the ground ball to Romero. And now a 1-0 count to Sierra Daniel. Swing and a miss there on a ball low and away, and the count evens up. Romero has had a good day defensively for State. Had a big leaping catch earlier in the ball game to rob LSU of a base hit. Another nice ball low in the zone. And a cut that was a little bit late. Foul tip into the catcher's mitt. 1-2 the count. Not a bad idea there by Everett.
That's
Good take.
pitch. And Everett, not a ton of innings on the season, but a ton of experience in her first 2 years here. So she's been in these situations. She's a veteran in the circle. A very smart ball player.
Getting a chance here on the final Sunday of the regular season for the home team. They'll be on the road to take on in-state rival and arch rival Ole Miss in Oxford next weekend. And what a big weekend that'll be for both teams. State trying to, again, become a host. Ole Miss fighting for their lives to get into the postseason and make a regional.
And Auburn and LSU will meet up next weekend. Again, same scenario,
Yep.
right?
So both State and LSU, now granted in SEC play, I mean, I think it's hard to say one team's a heavy favorite, but clearly both these teams will be favored next weekend. Shallow fly ball into left. Grasso calls for it, makes the catch. Lassiter goes back to first. Daniel is retired. There are 2 gone.
67, Kylie Edwards.
Kylie Edwards will now come up for maybe the last time on the weekend, probably the last time on the weekend. And what a weekend it's been for the LSU shortstop. Facing now a former teammate in Delaney Everett. Had a big home run earlier today to get the scoring started for LSU back in the first. A 2-run shot. Everett goes the opposite way, drifting over into foul territory. Play cannot be made by Keller, the State right fielder.
LSU has jumped out early each of the 3 games. In this one, Kylie Edwards showing off her power to get things started for LSU. Mississippi State would answer back, but LSU has been building off of that lead throughout the game. They've scored in 3 different innings this game, which is something they haven't been doing in the past, but putting some things together, but all started by Kylie Edwards in that first inning home run.
The 2 home runs hit by LSU today from their 2 leading home run hitters, both the Edwards.
It's a good day to be an Edwards, I guess.
12 homers on the year now for Torrey, 10 on the year for Kylie. Check swing. Well, she tried to check it at least. I think the ball was called for a strike on the outside corner. Either way, the count now even at 2-2. Runner on, 2 gone. In a 5-3 game, LSU on top. Nice defensive swing to stay alive by Kylie Edwards, and will do it again. But what a moment here for Delaney Everett. After only throwing before today 8+ innings the entire season, battling injuries, getting back to the offseason. A chance here on the final weekend of the regular season. Pitching to a former teammate. Gets her to pop out to shallow right center. Silva in center field makes the grab, and the inning is over. Nothing doing for LSU, but State's down to their final 3 outs.
On no base hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base.
Number 17, Peyton Monticelli, back to the circle for LSU, trying to pitch 7 innings for the first time since the first week of the season. What a wild journey it's been for her in her first year in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, coming over from Oklahoma, started her career at Wisconsin. Not a ton of innings pitched at Oklahoma, but has really, as of late, for LSU, come into this reliever role, this time in relief, but going the full 20, looking to go the full 21 outs. She has really filled a void with Sydney Berzon going to Oklahoma. Little tradesies of pitchers between LSU and Oklahoma.
The Bulldogs are down to their final 3 outs. Zian Romero hits one over towards third. Hodge, nice glove there, regains her balance in time to throw across the first in time, and Romero retired quickly, 1 gone here in the home half of the 7th.
And when you're protecting a lead in the last half inning, the most important out is always the next one, but always important to get the first out.
Greta Grassel now steps up. State trying to get that tying run to the plate. Grassel on the year, limited at bats, only 7 official at bats, but a .429 batting average. Has gone 3 for 7 on the season.
And 2 of those hits have been off of Peyton Monticelli this weekend. So I think they played together over the summer at some point, so has a good idea of Monticelli, but this time working into a hitter's count, seeing the ball well.
Had a big double to left her last time up. Fouls that one back for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike on Grassel. Rivera in the on-deck circle. If anyone reaches, then you'll have the 9-hole hitter, and then the top of the order. That's the goal, right?
Yes.
Somehow figure out a way to get Styles in at bat here in the 7th inning. High fly ball, not very far out into left, easily grabbed by McKee, the new LSU left fielder, and there's 2 gone. LSU an out away from winning their first game on the weekend.
Is 23, Nez Rivera.
And the difference has been Monticelli coming in the circle and just really shutting down Mississippi State. Just allowed 1 run over the 7 innings, or 6 2/3 she's pitched. And then the offense for LSU with runners in scoring position coming up today like we haven't seen the past 2 days.
Strike 1 delivered to Dez Rivera. Rivera 0 for 1 today. Grounded out to the shortstop. Her first, and so far only time up today. That was back in inning number 2. Monticelli's really been very efficient today. Only 84 pitches thrown.
She's been working ahead, working in pitchers counts. Mississippi State, you know, it looks like we're having a conversation.
Associate head coach Tyler Bratton brings over Rivera. State down to its last strike here on this Sunday. Monticelli 6 2/3, 4 hits, only 1 run allowed. Just 1 extra base hit. And her defense has been really good behind her. That's wasted outside, counts 1 and 2.
It's been a complete game for LSU. Offense, important at bats with runners on, defense coming up big, and then Monticelli just putting her team in a good situation to win a game.
That's downstairs. Good take by Rivera. Counts even at 2 and 2. LSU trying to close the deal. Mississippi State trying to get their first sweep of a conference opponent this year. High fly ball, playable in foul territory, coming over and making the catch to win the game is Franklin. LSU, not a great weekend for the Tigers at all, but a great Sunday. They salvage the final game, get a big win over MSU.
Yes, make the drive back to Baton Rouge a little bit better for the Tigers. And we were just talking, it was a complete team win from the defense with the double plays. Monticelli coming in and getting her team back in the game, going full 7 innings in relief with the win. And then the offense coming up with the big bats and at bats and answering back every time Mississippi State even tried to gain the momentum.
LSU gets an important win for the Bulldogs. Now they're going to walk off this field, hopefully not for the final time. They're going to have to win some games, though, in Oxford next weekend and maybe at the SEC tournament as well to make sure they get to return home to Starkville for the postseason. Thanks to our entire cast and crew for a great weekend of broadcast here on a Super Bulldog weekend. LSU gets the win today over Mississippi State by a final score of 5-3. For Brittany McKinney, I'm Anthony Craven saying so long from Starkville. This has been a presentation of the SEC on ESPN.